everyone, it's your girl Weeza, and welcome back to my world. And in today's video, we're turning ourselves into a werewolf. So I'm just starting off with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and then I'm going to attempt to block out my brows, but only the tail parts. I'm going to do this by just running a glue stick through my brows, then grabbing a spoolie and forcing the hairs up flat against my skin. This, of course, will allow us to apply foundation, powders, brow products, etc. After you're done spooling your eyebrows, they should look something like this. Next, grabbing some translucent powder on a sponge here and just putting it on the tail parts of my eyebrows. I want to block off those tails so I get long, kind of spiky, hairy brows. And then I'm going to just throw some foundation on top and blend all over the face and even on top of that powder. When we get to the brows, we really want to pack on that foundation to get rid of those brow hairs underneath. I'm then going to go in with another layer of powder and do the same thing, pack that on, and then put another layer of foundation on. I find the more layers that you put of this, the better that it looks. I personally wish that I would have did another layer because you could still kind of see the brows underneath, but it's fine. It looked great. Next, I'm going to brighten up the face. I'm using the Kosas concealer and making sure I put it right under those eyebrows as well to really conceal, put it on the nose, the chin. And to brighten up these areas even more, I'm going to add the LA Girl white concealer to the same parts. As well, I'm going to add a line under the contour regions of both the sides of my face and blend her out. And set all of that with a translucent powder. It's time to get started on our werewolf eyes. So for this tutorial, I'm going to be using the Morphe X James Charles palette. I'll have a picture of the palette with a little moon on the color that I'm using. Dipping into that brown rush shade, I'm creating sort of a cat eye wing shape onto the lid, then blending it out with a soft orange. With a small, more dense brush, I'm grabbing a dark brown shade and just placing it right on top of that cat eye that we made with that rush shade. This is going to make everything a lot more darker and a lot more intense. Now, using that blending brush that we used earlier, we're going to blend out any harsh lines. Grabbing a pencil brush and a black eyeshadow, I'm just going along my lash line here and kind of creating a wing, blending it up and out into that dark brown shade. Repeat the same thing on the other eye. Grabbing some white eyeshadow, I'm just going to pack it to the inner middle part of my lids. Then I'm going to grab a little bit of the shimmer shades here and just place it right on top of that white shadow. Grabbing a definer brush and some more black shadow, I'm really concentrating a lot more black shadow into the inner part of my eye and blending it and sweeping it across the lid to meet that wing. And blend out any harsh lines with that orange shade and that blending brush that we used earlier. Onto my eyebrows now, so I grabbed a definer eyeliner brush and my dip brow. I wasn't really liking the way that it looked, so I grabbed a brown eyeliner, just like a pencil eyeliner, and started filling in my brows this way, giving it more of a chunky, spikier look. And for the shape, I want to focus on a straight, pointy, yet very spiky brow, which kind of makes me look angry and mean. When I have a shape that I like, I'm just going to grab this spoolie and kind of blend everything together. With a small flat angled brush, I'm just going in with some dark brown eyeshadow now and making hair-light strokes to fill in any gaps and fill in any sparse bits of the brows. We want them to look real bushy and hairy. And when you're happy with it, blend it out again with a spoolie. Grabbing a bit more concealer now, I'm going under the brows and carving them out. I'm not even going to blend this out. I'm literally just going to leave it there because I started seeing some of my brow come out, especially on that one side, and I was not a fan. And then right on top of that concealer, I packed on some highlighter. And I just first want to apologize that I didn't film this very good, but I'll explain it very well. So what I did was just grabbed a liquid liner and went and did a really big wing. And when I got to the inner corner, I brought it down and extended it down into my tear duct. The lower lash line, we want to get that eyeliner and also extend it past the tear duct to kind of create the same shape we did on the top to the bottom. So you can see here what the eyeliner ended up looking like. We got a pointy eye look in the front, giving us a really cat-like werewolfy appearance. Then I'm going to grab a black shadow and that pencil brush and blend out that lower lash line. And then I'm going to grab some brown shadow and a fluffy brush and blend it all out. And lastly, I'm going to grab some gold shimmer and place it between the top eyeliner and the lower eyeliner to give it a pop. Put on some lashes. Boom. Beautiful. Look at those eyes. Stunning. Grabbing my NYX Wonder Pencil, I'm going to map out my werewolf facial hair. I'm going to create a widow's peak by placing a large V in the center of my forehead and creating a circular hairline down to my ears. As well, I'm going to draw out 2 little V's on the side of my cheeks where my contour would go to create my hairy werewolf contour. Then I went in with my e.l.f. Definer eyebrow pencil and started creating hair light strokes within my outline that I just created. After using that definer brush for a few minutes, I realized I forgot to contour, so I grabbed my Benefit Hoola bronzer and the brush that it comes with and started heavily contouring my face, hitting my cheekbones, my jaw, my forehead, and my nose. In order to create additional dimension to the face, I went in with 2 eyeshadows, mixed them, and went over all my contour lines and really blended it out. I got a little bit too excited with the contour on my forehead, so I'm just grabbing Maybelline Fit Me powder and just pressing it onto the forehead and then blending it out. Now we can go in with that e.l.f. eyebrow definer pen and create those hair light strokes where I made those stencils with the Wonder Pencil. To give our werewolf hair even more dimension, I'm grabbing some of that brown LA Girl concealer and an eyeliner brush and creating additional hair light strokes all over the face, contour, and my neck. Next, I'm going to create my cute little werewolf nose by putting a little bit of this NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil at the bottom of my nose. Then I'm going to grab a pencil brush with a little bit of black shadow on it and just blend it up and around my nose. Grabbing a soft brown and a blender brush, I'm going to blend up that black and mix it up into my nose, creating a faded gradient effect. With a black pencil eyeliner, I'm just going to outline my top lip and fill it in. Set it in place with some black eyeshadow. Remove any makeup that might be on your lower lip and blend it out with a sponge. Next, my eyebrows needed a little bit more dimension. I just love the way this concealer looked on my contour, so I just added it into the brows to give an additional dimension and make my brows even more bushier, more angrier. And that is the makeup portion complete. To make my werewolf scratches on my neck, I'm going to grab Elmer's glue and toilet paper. I'm going to map out where I want to put my scratches. So I wanted to make 3 scratches, and I literally am just going to grab a strip of toilet paper and I'm going to glue it onto my neck. Simple as that. I'm going to create multiple layers of toilet paper, glue, use my finger, pack on that glue, and just create my desired shape. And when you're done and happy with the shape that you got, you want to make sure it's dry completely. I personally prefer to use a blow dryer. It really just helps speed everything up. And when it's dry, it should look something like this. Next, we're going to pack on some translucent powder right on top. Then you want to grab your foundation. I'm just going to use the Sally Hansen Perfect Legs and spray this onto my neck area and then blend it in with the Beauty Blender. Grabbing some concealer or a lighter foundation, I'm just going to run it along the scratches and blend it in to give it additional dimension. Grabbing a brown shadow, I'm just going to go around my scratches, so on the top and the bottom, to make it look like these scratches are actually coming out of my hairy werewolf skin. Then I'm going to do some additional contouring and darken up the body a little bit, darken up my collarbones with some brown dark shadow just to make them pop more. You can see I'm doing this extremely messy. Then I'm going to grab some red shadow and go right on top of those scratches to create a hairier neck. I went in with the brown concealer and this eyeliner brush and created small hair-like strokes all over the neck. Time to add the blood. So I'm just taking some vampire blood and adding a little bit of cornstarch to thicken it up because these bloods tend to be quite runny. She was also a little bit too red for me, so I darkened it up with some of that brown concealer. And then I'm going to place it right on top of the scratches and give us that bloody, gory, just freshly scratched look. The places where I want to create actual drips of blood, I'm just going to grab the tube and then squeeze a little bit and let it drip. Like I said, it's quite runny, so it kind of does it for itself. Then lastly, I wanted to be a little extra, so I got a little bit of blood on my hands and started scratching my arms and my chest area. I wanted to make myself a hairy werewolf hand, so I'm just getting that brown concealer again and that eyeliner brush, creating hair-like strokes all over the back of my hand, my knuckles, my fingertips, everywhere to make it look like I have a hairy werewolf hand. I tied 2 small ponies to the top of my hair to get my bangs out of my face, then backcombed the rest of it and created a lot of volume to give you big, messy werewolf hair. And that is the completed werewolf look. Thank you so much for watching and thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll catch you on my next one. See ya!